Like always, I want to thank you guys for coming out and covering Penn State football. We don't take that for granted. Appreciate you guys. I just got done talking to the team. I think the first thing is that was a pretty Big Ten win on the road. You got to appreciate winning. It's hard to do. You watch college football. Each week there's games that there's upsets and things you got to grind it out. So that was a big time win for us on the road. It was beautiful to me, especially when you kind of take all the factors that we look at into it. A couple things that kind of stood out to me. You talk about holding them to 62 yards rushing, getting 5 turnovers, and everybody's going to talk about the 5 turnovers, and deservedly so, we should be. But then the other thing is our offense not turning the ball over as well. You do those things, you're going to win a lot of games. Those things obviously have a huge impact. Turnover battle, we won. Explosive play battle, we got to be more explosive on offense. That some of these stats are skewed because at the end of the game, they still had a ton of their one defense in and still had a ton of their one offensive players in. But we did lose that battle. The third down battle, we won. The sack battle, we won. The starting field position battle, we won. The penalty battle, we did not win. So we got to look at that closely. Obviously, the 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties were big, and we got to get those things cleaned up. It's great that Trey Potts was able to come in and contribute, make a huge play in the game when we needed something to get us going. That was a big one. And then just the consistency of our defense keeping people out of the end zone and the consistency of our offense being able to score enough points to give us a chance to be successful. So a lot of positives to build on. Obviously we're going to enjoy it tonight and then wake up tomorrow morning and get to work. I'll be very critical on this film because we got to make another step next week.
Raise your hand, we'll call you, Rich.
James, you said a few days ago that this was another opportunity to learn something about your team and that you wanted to see them win in different ways. What did you learn about them today?
Yeah, I think kind of what I just said is that was a really good example. You're going to go on the road, 11 a.m., Big Ten environment, and find a way to grind it out. And that's what the first half was. Never lost the lead. Never lost control of the game. We didn't take control, but we never lost control of the game and just kind of kept chipping away at it. So I was proud. That's kind of how the season's going to go. You're going to have some big wins. You're going to have some challenging wins. You're going to have to find ways to win on the road. You're going to have to find ways to win at home. Continue to build momentum and then make a ton of corrections between now and next week. So to me, there's a ton to learn off of with this film. But it's a good win on the road in the Big Ten.
Brendan, then Johnny.
James, what does a game like this do for Drew? The first couple games, it looked like things, I don't want to say came easy, but he didn't face a ton of adversity. And in this game, some drops, some things didn't go well for him. How important is this sort of game for him?
Yeah, he kind of kept his cool. He's pretty steady Eddie and poised. We did have some drops that made it harder than it needed to be. Obviously, we didn't have Trey Wallace today. So getting him back will be important for us. But then other guys got to step up as well. And we just kind of had some moving parts. Weren't as clean as we needed to be. But he'll learn from this. We'll learn from this. It'll be great tape to evaluate, and we'll get better.
Johnny, then Neil.
Kind of going off that, with Trey, was that a precautionary deal to not play him today? And then the wide receivers as a whole, you mentioned guys having to step up. Were you pleased with how they performed today on the
kind of like I said, we had too many drops. We just weren't as sharp as I think we have the capability of being. Felt a little sluggish early on. Even little things like kind of how we motioned and how we kind of broke out of the formation. Trey, our medical people make those decisions. They were not comfortable. They didn't feel like he was ready to go. So he helped. That's how all those decisions are made.
Neil, then Sauber.
James, you mentioned last week about penalties, and this week 13-0. You could be going in, and you get one there. Are you disappointed with a couple of those situations, or were they bang calls, or did you get a good look at the sportsman's?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you get penalties that are either pre-snap or post-snap, they're discipline penalties, and we got to eliminate those. We've been pretty good in that area, but obviously we got to get those things cleaned up. So yeah, not good, not happy with them, not pleased with them, don't like them.
Sauber, then Ben.
James, obviously get Daequan Hardy back today. How important was getting him back, and what did he kind of allow you guys to do that you weren't able to do the first couple?
Yeah, it just made sense to play a little bit more nickel in this game. We like the matchup with him, especially on the guy number one that they're going to try to get the ball. He's been playing here for a long time as a playmaker for him. So it allowed us to get into a little bit, more of our personnel packages that I know Manny and we have a lot of confidence in. So kind of knock some of the rust off with him, and it'll be important for us moving forward.
James, I know in 2018 you guys had drop issues that hamstrung you at times. Is there anything, one game is not a trend, but is there anything that you learned that season about how to kind of instill that catch confidence to kind of nip that in the bud as you sort of figure things out at the 2 and 3 spot?
Yeah, again, I don't think it's really something that we need to discuss. We had a couple drops today. We haven't been that way all year long. So I don't think it's really a topic, but obviously we got to be better.
Time for 2 more. Audrey, then Zach.
James, you guys had a decent number of moving parts along the offensive line. Banga was in there a good bit. First glance, what were your initial impressions about how your line held up against some of the better defensive fronts in the conference?
Yeah, I think the fact that we're able to play a bunch of guys has been good for us. We're going to need that. But I think it'll be interesting watching this tape with not just our O-line, with our tight ends as well, and get a better feel for it. But that's a front that there was a lot of conversations about coming into the season. They also played some 5- and 6-man defensive line fronts today against us as well. I thought they had some pretty good kind of scheme ideas as well. But it'll be really good film for us to evaluate and coach off of. But you got to give them credit. They're good on the defensive line. But it'll be really good film for us to watch and evaluate.
Zach.
Back here, Coach. Kind of along the same lines, what were your game plan for Jer'Zahn Newton coming into today, and just overall, how do you think the offensive line played?
Yeah, I kind of just answered that. But yeah, Jer'Zahn is a really good player, All-American, projected first-round draft choice. We wanted to block him today. We thought that was important, and thought that the film was going to be important for us to watch, and got a ton of respect for their front.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.